boy, just be yourself. If people don't like you if you're being yourself, fuck them.
Santa Claus, ooh, go straight to the ghetto. That wasn't your shit?
It was, but I just was thinking, like, how he gonna come to the ghetto? We ain't had chimneys.
I mean, how does he go to a bunch of... First of all, it's Big Los.
Hollywood Kev.
And welcome to another episode of The Noize. To finish your question, I mean, a couple of houses didn't have chimneys. Didn't have chimneys. However the hell it's pronounced. I am tired. We're actually recording this much later than what we normally do. But, yeah. Did Santa find his way to your house when you didn't have a chimney?
Well, I mean, back home, we had a chimney. But...
Yeah, true. All right.
I mean, after a while, I realized ain't no goddamn Santa.
Yeah. Yo, I actually have a funny story dealing with how I found out Santa wasn't real.
How did you find out?
I'm going to get to that. But before we go any further into this episode on Christmas Day,
yep.
So on behalf of the late, great Eric Easy E. Wright, Merry motherfucking Christmas to everybody out there listening to the show. I feel like we can't have a Christmas episode and not, wish happy holidays on to our listeners.
That's true.
True. To the Jewish folks, happy Hanukkah, L'chaim. My Africanic soul brothers and sisters, happy Kwanzaa. What do Satanists say on Christmas?
Like, do atheists celebrate Christmas?
Like, what are they doing right now?
That sucks for them too, because like everything is closed.
Right, everything is closed. Everything is Christmas
world
decorated.
Gotta stop because they don't celebrate the shit that everybody else celebrates.
Right. I guess it's just a boring day.
Probably so.
When did you realize that Santa wasn't real?
I probably couldn't have been no more than 6, maybe 7.
Mm-hmm.
I did believe in Santa at one point.
Right.
My mom said you go to bed, Santa ain't gonna come. So I'm like, shit, I need to go to sleep.
Time to go.
Because I want whatever that nigga bringing.
I've seen the movie.
Right. And then after a while, I'm like, you know what? Hold up. The jig is fucking up. You bought this shit. I ain't speak to Santa all year. How the fuck he know what I want?
Damn.
So then I realized, mom's is Santa.
They ain't gonna take you to the mall, Santa?
Right. Well, no, I've been to the mall Santa a couple times, and I just, I was a very intellectual kid.
Mm.
It was like, it's no way this fat, out-of-shape white man is delivering presents to the whole world.
That's why Tim Allen played the Santa Claus, so you could see how it's supposed to work.
Nah. And that was after the fact. I was well old enough by that time. So I knew something was up.
You know what's funny? They used to have news reports of Santa being caught on tape.
Really?
Yes. To try to convince kids, like, oh yeah, he real? Look, somebody got a video of him.
And then this makes me think too, now this is just me being older, if racism is alive and well, Santa ain't racist? Or maybe Santa is racist. Do I get certain gifts and the white people get better gifts?
How is Santa racist?
No, I'm saying, I'm saying, is that what's going on? I don't know what the white kids is getting.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, do the white kids get better gifts than the black kids? What about the Asian kids?
There were some times where Santa left a note like, my bad.
Did Santa come to the kids that went through Hiroshima? Did he come to them still?
I don't think so. Wait, Hiroshima didn't exist anymore.
Okay, well, yes it did. It still exists. It was just fucked up.
Right, maybe not around that time.
But I'm just saying.
You can't really deliver to dust.
Nah, you got a point.
One thing that my dad told us when we were younger was he saw Santa. Like, he snuck out of his bed and he saw Santa putting the presents under the tree, and then he made a noise and Santa turned around and his eyes glowed red. And then I was like, okay, so Santa's Satan. Wait, it all makes sense.
Right. Why does Santa have red eyes?
But he said he dipped back to his room when they woke up in the morning, he had nothing but coal. So that was his way of keeping us like heads in beds. And me and Julian, we actually thought about that before. When we found out that, it was all a ruse, I think I was like 7. We just moved out to Vegas. I was like 7 or 8. And we didn't have a tree. We just moved out. Mm-hmm. And me and my brother was actually splitting a rollaway mattress. Times were hard. Mm-hmm. So, we're like, all right, whatever. Santa gonna find a way. I'll sleep on a rollaway mattress. I'll roll over. And some say, Los. And Los was like, huh? Open your eyes. So I open my eyes, and it's my dad right there putting the presents under the bed.
Wow.
So he look up. He looking at me. I'm looking at him. It's like 3 or 4 in the morning. I'm like, Santa's not real, is he? Dad was like, no. So I just rolled over, went back to sleep. I'm like, man, I'm about to.
Hey, Pops is so nah, bro. He not.
But you know what though? This was so bad. He had ample time to be like, nah, I didn't like how he had your presents organized under here. I'm just trying to order it, so that way when you guys
could have
see
came
it,
up with something.
Your stuff will be on one side, the brother on the other side. It's 4 a.m. He like, nah, he not real. Another thing we want to do with this episode, if you're keeping up with the dates, this is the last episode of the Noize for 2016.
Yeah. The next one will come out on
the first.
Yeah.
The first is the Sunday.
Yeah, so that episode gonna be dope.
It is. It has to be, because realistically we're gonna be drunk. Because that's New Year's Eve, brother. Yeah. When we actually record it.
We will be kind of
very, very much so tipsy.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. Something I did want to take the time to look back at. Can you say 2016 was trash?
Trash.
So you ain't even gonna wait for the other option?
No, 2016 was trash.
Yeah, no, I actually have to agree with you on that one. 2016 was such a shit year.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter what aspect you're referencing.
It was bad. 2016 was so bad that before, when 2016 got started, in my eyes, 2015 was like my worst year.
But you know what? People been having shit years since like 2013.
Yeah, true. But I'm thinking, once 2016 started, this is going to be a dope year for me, because 2015 was terrible for me.
Right.
Wrong. I was wrong as shit. 2015, now that I think about it, was actually not so bad of a
year.
What?
This was kind of tolerable. I could do a 2015.
Right, compared to 2016. Like, bro, I'm so glad this year is over with. I am truly glad this year is over. It's like, and even now, we in the final weeks of 2016, and it's still shitty shit happening.
Yes.
Like, it's like the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes.
And
you
it's
keep
bad.
kicking that fucking gift.
Right.
Like, goddamn socks. At least when you're like 6 or 7. Yo, I just got some socks today. I was thrilled. I'm like, yo, I appreciate you.
Especially right now, for some reason, the goddamn dryer keep eating my socks. I don't know where they at.
Exactly. I'm down to 2 pair of dress socks. When I tell you I have to keep washing these like twice a week, like it's a hard time right now.
For some socks right now, brother, I would be excited. A socks, a scarf, a beanie.
A scarf, bro. We live in Vegas.
Yeah, a scarf. And you been outside?
Yes, I have, but
a scarf.
That's only going to be good for like 2 months.
Okay, for 2 months, my neck is warm.
Except for 2 months, nigga, we getting it rapping.
Exactly.
I did look into some things about 2016, like some of the top stories, what was getting the most attention. I just want to knock this out so we could just continue and just have fun with this episode. We lost hella people this year.
Yeah, a whole bunch of people.
Hella people. I don't want to say that, everybody else didn't matter, but really the people that when you found out they were dead, it was like, what? Get out of here. You know what I mean? And even the list of the heavy hitters is wild.
Yeah, 2016. I told you, it's a shitty ass year.
It was a hard one. Who was the biggest shocker, or who hit home the hardest?
For me, it would have to be Craig Sager for me.
Craig Sager?
It would have to be.
Damn, that's true.
For me personally, I mean, there's a lot of other ones I was like, damn, really? Mm-hmm. But for me, it would have to be Craig Sager. I think for a lot of other people, it's probably Prince.
Yeah, I think that's for a majority of the people.
Yeah, it was probably Prince.
And that's even wild because Prince died and his protege died. Vanity.
Yeah.
Both this year.
For me, Craig was probably the most. Yeah, when I think about it, he was the one that hit home the most. Yeah, for me.
It was definitely Craig Sager. Mm-hmm. The one that hit home the most. And I'm going to sound like a hypocrite because I'm talking about this being heavy hitters, and really this actor he went quietly because he was out of the public eye for a little bit. Tommy from Martin.
Yeah.
His death, it hit because it was like, shit.
Yeah.
Like, if you look back at the history of Martin, it's more of the, special guests that used to come on the show that are gone now. Mm-hmm. But it's not the people that were there from episode 1 to the very last episode.
Right, you're absolutely.
So when Tommy's gone, it's like, damn, we just started losing characters from Martin.
Mm-hmm. Right. That one hits home too. That one does. And then with him, because he wasn't old.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't old, especially the way I think people are evolving now. When we were growing up, you hear somebody 40, 50, you're like, okay, they're getting up there. Now it's like, that's the norm. Like, a lot of people are hitting their strides at that age. Exactly.
Some people, like, their career is taking off.
Yeah. So
35 and then just gone out of nowhere at 45.
Right. So you're like, damn. It's, we getting old, bruh.
Dude, another one that hit hard, and I think a lot of people not necessarily forgot about it, but it didn't get that much conversation afterwards. We lost Muhammad Ali this year.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're right.
Muhammad Ali passed this year.
Yeah, it wasn't a thing that I forgot about, but it was like he was so out of sight, out of mind in general that you don't even,
And it got to the point where you kind of were, this is horrible to say, but you kind of were like counting down, like, because every appearance he had, he just looked like he was deteriorating.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even though it hurts, and I know his family, especially with the holidays roll around, he's not around, but for you to know that he's not suffering no more, that's a big thing.
That's a blessing within itself. It's definitely a hidden blessing. Another big one, Phife Dawg.
Yeah.
The legend.
Damn, this year,
And that-
fuck you, 2016.
I'm glad we got one last album out of it, though. I don't know if you heard.
I have not heard it yet.
Amazing album, dude. Instant classic, I promise you.
Yeah,
I stand behind it. I guarantee it. Shout out to Denzel.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to download that on Spotify tonight.
This the last one. First of all, rest in peace to all of them. We also lost Shawty Lo and Miss Cleo.
True, we did. And I don't laugh when you said Shorty Lo. The first thing that popped in my head was that goddamn
That dance.
not the dance. The after he died, how he was in the strip club, bro.
Oh yeah,
That's the first thing that popped in my head. Like, damn, like they really had a dead body in the strip club.
That's who signed off on that. Like,
I don't know.
that?
Who approved that. Not only on who approved that in his camp, but what strip club owner was like, you know what? Yes, bring him here.
Bring Shawty Lo in. We gonna show him a good time on his way out.
As far as Miss Cleo,
Who's the stripper that danced?
yeah,
And how did she know she was, doing what she was supposed to be doing?
Yeah, like-
what if Shawty Lo reacted? Like, you just saw one twitch and nigga, you just saw the quickest roaches scatter in the strip
Man.
club ever.
and then with Miss Cleo, like my only question is, did she know it was coming?
Nope.
Did she wake up one morning like, you know what, this is it for me?
Exactly.
I'm gonna hang it up.
Today's gonna be the day.
Right.
For anybody that's possibly too young to remember, Miss Cleo started this television prediction shit. She was the original John Edwards.
She was the original Joanne the scammer.
Hell yeah.
Because she robbed
Bruh,
all of you.
the trashest Jamaican accent ever conjured up to be presented to us. And these gullible motherfuckers fell for it at that. Call me now for your free bumper clock reading.
She was racking up for a minute, bro.
Bruh, bringing in checks until she finally. Remember when she got caught and she did an interview and I'm like, oh, she from Detroit. Where does accent come from?
Nonetheless, man, R.I.P. to all of them.
RP to all of you, and for your contributions, we thank you, and of course, rest in peace. So I have one more question. Well, I have another question, a transitional question. Now I'm just mumbling because I'm so damn tired, Kev. I don't think you understand. Who do you think had the biggest impact this year?
Impact overall?
Yeah.
You got to get that to that man Trump. You have to.
Fucking hell.
You have to.
Yeah.
Trump made it to where you start to see people's true colors.
Very true.
He made it to where now everything that black people had been saying what was going on, white people can't deny that it's actually happening.
Exactly.
Now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I think you have to say Trump probably was the most influential. Not in a positive way, but
Right.
he was definitely the most influential. And I think second, Kanye's following right after.
You
right?
saw he was already in the meetings, but before we transition to Kanye conversation, when I went back to just pull what's been going on throughout the year, just to kind of refresh my memory of it, this was our presidential election.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I watched the show Gotham. I don't know if you've watched that show or not. I was severely behind, so I was catching up. I had recorded the most recent season, which started when the whole campaign started. You know, their debates and so on and so forth. So as I'm getting caught up and I'm watching it, and it's on my DVR, I'm watching commercials from the election, watching commercials like the presidential debate, and I'm looking back on it like,
This really
Jesus
happened.
Christ, this really happened. This was a shit show.
Dude, think about how we got there in the first place. I pulled up some of the public policy polling surveys. In I'm just gonna talk about North Carolina. We're not even gonna go off of all the nation. But let's not forget D's Nuts was in the running. And D's Nuts had a pretty high public polling survey score. Just sticking with North Carolina. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with y'all out there, but just sticking with North Carolina. Marshawn Lynch had a 5% score. Captain Crunch had 17%. Cranky Pants had 2%. These Nuts 9%. American Cookies.
American, which is just M.
American Cookies 1%, and Queen Elsa from Frozen 4%.
Bruh.
And 58% was like not sure.
Bruh. Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch, bruh.
How much percent?
Captain Crunch was at 17%.
That's what I'm talking about. I love that cereal, man.
And then out in Texas, Harambe was at 2%. First of all, D's Nuts was all over the place. D's Nuts was going state to state and racking up votes. D's Nuts is something that you could trust.
Yo, I wonder if D's Nuts would have used grab him by the pussy with his pole. Like, would that have worked for him?
D's Nuts for grabbing him by the pussy.
That's a slogan.
Hey, exactly.
They could have used that. That's the slogan.
First of all, another thing I found funny about D's Nuts, Warren G and Ice-T both endorsed D's Nuts.
We can go on all
we
day.
We can go
with
all
that.
day for this. It's like this is too easy. This is too easy. But what's funny about D's Nuts? Did you know that the person that was running under D's Nuts was a 15-year-old kid?
Yeah, I knew he was a 15-year-old kid, bro. I did know that.
I knew it was a kid. I didn't know how young.
I knew he was young.
I thought it was like a 17-year-old cat on his way out of high school.
I knew he was like somebody that just hit the cuff at the end of puberty type thing. Like,
his voice just broke.
Right. I knew that, but I didn't know he had such many fans.
Bruh, this. What's so sad about it is that when you go back and you actually look at the history of elections. This is what 2016 is going to always hold.
You know what? Not even what 2016 is going to hold. This has become a staple for the next elections to come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? By them breaking down the traditional election process, it made it to where all the ones in the future now can be anything that those two candidates want it to be.
Exactly. No matter what your political views are, no matter what your professional background is. And I know for damn sure, I don't need to go no more interviewing people ask me what my experience level is. Like, no, who'd you vote for? Let me know that.
I seen something.
You say Trump, then I should be able to get this job pretty damn easy.
I seen something. It was a video. I don't know what school the guy went to. I can't remember, but he was in school. First semester, got straight A's, 4.0. Dropped out. Dropped out because he's like, this is a scam, so on and so forth. He looked up his the job that he was trying to get in. I forget the criteria, but the starting pay was $9.25 an hour.
What year was this?
This was this year.
Oh, shit.
Required experience, a master's degree. You had to have like 4 years of social service background, 2 years of working with the homeless, and like 4 years of doing something else. So you had to have, like, this is all required. Like, they're not even going to look at you unless you have this. It's no way in hell.
And you're not even going to pay me $10?
Right.
I got more experience than you at this point.
Exactly. So and I say that to say, with us letting Trump be in office, there's no way any job can tell me you have to have X amount of experience.
Especially if your ass had a Trump Pence poster outside. Because
Exactly.
I'm like, come on, dude. You going to sit here and tell me you care about qualifications?
Exactly.
You going to sit here and tell me
You
that?
gonna give me this goddamn job.
Exactly. You lucky I even came and did this interview so properly. I could have came in some Timbs and some jeans and a hoodie. Like, what up, God? Shout out to New York City. Now, going into what you were saying with Kanye. I see why Donald Trump was Times Man of the Year, but Kanye is the closest second. I don't think there was a week that went by in 2016 that we didn't hear Kanye West's name.
I want to say the second half. The first half, I think the first half is when his album dropped, so you heard news about that. But it wasn't, you're hearing, okay, the album's dope, so on and so forth.
Oh, no, I'm not even talking about controversy. I'm just saying in general.
No,
Kanye's name was present every week.
I think there were some times where you was like, okay, you ain't heard nothing. But for the majority of it, yes. I think more so in the second half of the year is when it was like every day.
That's when you just went plumb crazy.
Every day it was like, okay, Kanye's up to something.
Shit, he was on this show damn near every week, it felt like.
It felt like it got to a point where I was like, yo, I'm not talking about that nigga today.
And then you end up talking about
it. I was like,
it wasn't nothing else that happened. Like,
really? Yeah, blonde hair? Really? You Frank Ocean now? Really?
He probably felt like, I didn't give anybody something this week, so
probably
we'll do something. And they ain't ready for this.
I hope next year, man, he can stay out the way.
I doubt it. That he doesn't know how to just stay out the way.
No, he gets in his own way too much.
And you see, they started to talk about Kim considering divorcing him and all this other stuff. This has just begun.
You're right.
You're right. If you thought Kanye was off his shit before,
You're right.
he's about to take off. He's about to go full pelt.
As
You
a
ain't
fan
ready.
of his music, though, I hope she divorce him. Because if she divorce him, we going to get one of the firest albums ever. I truly believe that. I mean, it'll suck for him, but I truly believe we're going to get a dope album if that's the case.
Now, I agree because I fucked with 808s and Heartbreaks. Thought that was an amazing album.
Yep.
Yeezus came not too long after
You
that.
got
though.
a very valid
So,
point.
and he didn't, and think about it, when he got with Kim, that's when we got this recent album.
No, we got something after Yeezus when he was with Kim.
Wait, no, was it? Yeezus was with Kim.
It was with Kim.
Damn. So they should divorce. You're right. You're absolutely right.
It was with
It's time
Kim.
to go.
I think that was his first album with Kim.
It was.
Yeah, Kim, go ahead, let Brother Man go.
Go ahead and get that. Go ahead, bounce. It's that Kardashian box, bro.
I told you, son.
The box is evil.
It is.
Science and religion hasn't figured this box out yet.
It's bad.
So outside of Kanye, something amazing happened, and I'm going to give its respects that is due.
Which is?
The Cavs brought Cleveland a championship.
Well, that was going to happen.
Okay.
I knew that was going to happen this year. Now, this upcoming season, I don't know, only because we can't stay healthy. But, all in all, City got a ring. I'm happy.
The only thing with that, granted, y'all are fragile, but who can actually beat y'all in the East right now?
Well, no, we're going to go to the finals. I'm not saying that. But once we get there, I don't know how that's going to work out.
Okay, so I guess on the flip side, who's going to beat y'all in the West then?
It depends. We haven't really played too many West opponents for me to know.
Because like everybody's saying it's going to be Golden State and Cleveland again, which I can see.
Which I mean, I can see it, but at the same time, I don't know. Because Golden State, yes, they're winning games, they're doing what they're supposed to. But something about this particular team, man, I just don't feel like dominance like I did with the least two teams.
And you really should, considering who's over there right now.
All in all, the Cavs and the Warriors do play tomorrow.
Yes, that's going to be a great game.
So we'll get to check that out and kind of see.
Or today, because you're listening right now.
Today.
So yeah. How was it, y'all?
Right. So we'll see how it is. But, I mean, Cavs definitely going to the finals. We got LeBron. I mean,
true.
Going to the finals.
True. I gave Cleveland teams a lot of shit because you and Darvio talk the most shit out of all the people I know. But there was
I haven't talked no shit about the Lakers in about a good month, bro.
It's not about talking about it recently. It's about the fact that you have in general.
Oh, wow.
Doesn't even matter. It's not even the case. Anyway, I was happy, dude. I was happy to see that much positivity in the land.
Yeah.
I was happy to see everyone come together. Bigger numbers than they did for the actual Nike commercial.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. Like, we even talked about it, man, we need to get out there.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt. If the Cavs do win this season, I definitely will be at that parade.
Yo, if the Cavs win this season, then Browns got to do something.
they need to leave.
They won their first Christmas miracle, though. They won their game tonight.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve, so yesterday.
That's true.
You know?
So what, they got their first win this season?
Yes.
Season's about a week from
Playoff contenders, baby.
Being over. No.
But listen, you should have saw the photos. Like, it was so much happiness that they broke the drought.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to go a whole season without winning the game.
Very true. Speaking of the Browns, you know who else had a pretty shit year?
Who?
Johnny Football.
Yeah, he did.
He went full Bobby Brown this year.
He did. I seen that he had reached out to some of his buddies that are currently in the league, asking for help. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a comeback. But I mean, hey, like you said, he on his Bobby shit right now.
Would y'all take him back? Now I heard y'all re-signing RG3.
Y'all, time out. I am not a Browns fan, sir. I've never been a Browns fan.
Oh, that's blasphemy, though.
That's
blasphemy. You're supposed to rep everything Cleveland.
No. I haven't even paid attention to the Browns since the goddamn stadium burnt down when I was a kid.
Oh, you're horrible.
I mean, my team that I do rep isn't doing as good either. But I'm not. I like the Saints, brother.
Ah, yes, we did. We had this conversation. Yeah, not really. No.
Yeah, but
the Steelers in the playoffs, though. Number one in the AFC North. Just saying.
That's great. What are your Lakers doing?
Horrible.
All right.
Absolutely terrible. And I'm about to touch on that. Don't get me wrong. Matter of fact, we can go to that right now. Before we talk about how shit my Lakers are doing, let's talk about something that was great and sad that happened with the Lakers. 2016 is the year that the Mamba retired.
Yeah.
Love him or hate him, this season, just watching this season, it's weird.
It is.
Without Kobe.
It is. It definitely is weird. And I can't lie. I watched that last game and I was rooting for Kobe.
We all were.
I was pulling for him. I was excited when he hit the shot. I was rooting for him.
I meant to look up the actual rating system, but which one do you think got the most watches? The Kobe retirement or Golden State beating the Chicago Bulls record?
Definitely the Kobe. It had to be. Because I think it got to a certain point with Golden State that you knew they were going to beat that record,
right?
Like
they were unstoppable until they got stopped.
Yeah,
but yeah,
you knew they were going to beat that record, so it wasn't something that I got to tune in to see if they're going to do it. But with Kobe, it was like
this is Kobe Bryant's last game.
Yeah,
right?
Everybody came out to watch that game.
Mm-hmm. Even Shaq.
Yeah, everybody came out to watch that game, and like you said, it's weird watching them not play anymore. And then me personally, I grew up being a KG fan. Mm-hmm. He left this year too. Yeah. So it's weird. Like we lost in basketball, Kobe, KG, and Tim Duncan. But I mean, I don't know. We did lose some greats in the NBA. We lost some greats all the way around. Fuck you, 2016.
Yeah. Again, if we haven't mentioned it before, to kind of continue on my Lakers, because I've been talking the most shit about them.
Yeah, you have.
This entire season. Obviously, if you've been following the show for some months, I was wrong. I thought the Lakers were going to, do something spectacular, not necessarily win, not even necessarily make the playoffs. I thought they were going to do something to just turn everything around, and then we became 11-22. And then it was like, oh, that's right, Lakers, duh. You know what I mean? I think I put up a Facebook status about it a couple weeks ago, like, this is looking like the average Laker game.
Yeah. I mean, you guys did lose your guys' point guard, your bread and butter.
Even when he came back, we ain't do shit.
Yeah.
We suffer from young team syndrome. We make a lot of young team mistakes. I forgot who I was talking to where we were at the half and we were up by 15. What game was it? It was you.
Yeah,
it was the Grizzlies.
The Memphis game. Yeah.
Yes, and you was like, yeah, Memphis, they're a second half team, and I'm like, that's true. The Lakers are also a horrible second half team. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get lucky this game.
Nope.
And then they got trashed. I'm just like, I can't keep going to bat for these niggas, and they're just being horrible every time they touch the court.
You know what this means, bro?
What's that mean?
You need to come on home, man.
Nah. Why would I do that?
You need to come on home.
I do need to go home to Cleveland and go see my people. I would love to do that.
Come on home.
But listen.
And start repping the proper team, bro.
Listen. I am repping the proper team. It's Lake Show. Either way. I can't. If I jump ship, I'm no better than half the Golden State fans right now.
Ooh, shots fired.
They know, but they know they set switches.
They do.
It's just like people that follow, and like I said, I agree more with people that follow players than people that just jump to who's the better looking team.
Yeah, or who's
I have way more respect.
Yeah, I agree with you. But you just need to come on home. We can make an exception for you.
No, I'm cool.
We can get you into the Thursday meeting.
Yeah, y'all are very forgiving for people to come back on the show.
I mean, anybody gonna forgive the best player in the world to come play.
Y'all niggas was out there in the ashes like, stitch it together. Put some milk on it.
Put it in rice.
It'll work. Yo, you know who else had a crazy year?
Who was that?
Beyonce.
I guess so.
This was her year.
Was this really her year? Or was the last umpteenth years her year?
Since she's been solo, it's been her year. But this one, bruh, she finally did what everybody kept saying. Oh, Beyonce, she's not a part of the fight and she's not down.
The Super Bowl thing was this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything that she did this year was going directly against what a lot of naysayers were saying about her. Now, I don't know if people are going to start burning their computers, but I'm not a Beyonce fan. But I can respect what she did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She found a way to vocalize what's been going on, and people hated it. They wanted to crucify her for it. Mm-hmm. And then you get a whole album about her telling you about how Jay-Z cheated, and then that shit just takes off, bro. This has been a solid ass year for her.
Do you really think Jay-Z cheated?
Yes. I'm sorry. Shout out to Hov, but.
Okay. Do you think he cheated and really got caught? Or do you think that this album was something that they conspired for her to sell? I mean, what sells better than controversy?
Very true. Do you think Beyonce would actually need some kind of a controversial situation to kind of help her sell? Because I
don't think she needs anything.
She could fart on 13 tracks and that shit would go double down.
I don't think she needs anything to help her sell. but it's like you said, there's nothing wrong with. There is no such thing as bad publicity.
True. There is no such thing as bad publicity.
And then what you were saying too. Think about it this way: what if she definitely doesn't need, regardless on what her stance was and how people felt about her with the whole formation thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Super Bowl at people like, oh, she's against police, so on and so forth. Regardless of how they feel about that, she doesn't need help selling anything. Mm-hmm. Let's say, as a complete hypothetical, that she put this out because she was trying to get some of those people back, or trying to, you know what I mean, kind of sway the perception of her.
Mm. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe she used this, okay, look, they was hating me for this. I still feel that way, but they was hating me for this. Let me will them back to reality, and I'm going to put out this project. Do you think maybe that's why that project came in?
And honestly, with that hypothetical, I can see that being smart, because there were still so many questions as to why Solange whooped Jay's ass on the elevator. Mm-hmm. You start connecting the dots, and it's like, okay, well, let me go ahead and create this controversy. I can see that.
Again, I don't think she needs help. Maybe that really was the case, and she used her art to vocalize it. But I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, she was using something that may not been entirely true to help with a situation.
I can see that. Did they ever find out who Becky with the good hair was?
I don't know. I truly don't know.
There's a few names that got thrown out, but I was like,
I don't know.
Who did he smash?
Right. All I know is I knew Beyonce was a G when she said, of course some shit gonna go down when it's, what did she say, $1 billion on the elevator. I thought that line was so dope.
Yeah, because you can't combat it. It's like, because everyone was talking so much shit. Like, yo, Solange whooped Jay ass and Jay a bitch. It's like, yeah, but they're all still richer than you.
Right.
And they're still together.
Like, not only did she acknowledge the elevator shit, like most people, when something like that happens, they stray away from it.
Like it never happened. Right.
Not only did she acknowledge it, but then she told you, and so what, bitch?
Say something.
Like, that's so dope.
That's what I'm saying. Beyonce had a good fucking year.
She did.
She had an untouchable year.
She did. Drake had an untouchable year too.
Drake is Mr. Untouchable.
Your boy Drake. He had an untouchable year.
He went off this year. Yo, craziest theory, right? What if when they exposed Quentin Miller as Drake's writer, all of a sudden this lazy shit we've been getting from him? What if this is actually Drake's writing?
Excuse me. I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It would make sense to me.
I was just saying that the last thing I heard Drake gas on, like lyrically, that had me excited for the next Drake project was 4 a.m. in Toronto. I was like, yo, he's giving this bars. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then after that, he's just been very Dr. Seuss rappy.
Dr. Seuss stealing other people's thing, this dance hall thing. He wanna.
Yeah, now he's Jamaican.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, even not only is he Jamaican in some of his songs, but if you look at some of his Instagram posts, he's even starting to write like a Jamaican.
Yes,
like I'm like, bro,
dated
really?
Rihanna for a little bit, where they were. I don't know. How do you count the people that Rihanna and Drake deal with? Did you say they're dating, or they're just the fuck buddy for the week?
Yeah, I don't think that was it. I think they had something going on, or tried to, and then it just didn't.
It just didn't happen from there.
I don't think neither one of them is the two that each other need. Like, I don't think Rihanna is the girl that Drake needs, and vice versa. I don't think that works.
I'm sure they had a fucking ball though.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yo, 2016 in general for music has been the craziest shit. Bobby Shmurda went down. Gucci got out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. One Twitter post I saying that summed it up perfectly. 2016 was a bad movie with a dope soundtrack.
But you know what?
No, look at it now. Don't get me wrong. We've had some horrible music.
I'm about to say, you got to remember,
we had some horrible.
We had the freshman class.
We've had some horrible music this year. But look at all the great music. It was in the tweet. It was a video, not a video. It was a picture, and it had little pictures of all the albums that came out this year. And when you look at them, bruh, it was some hard albums.
It's
that
some
came
ones
out
in
this
there.
year.
It's definitely some ones in there, but
there were some shitty ones too.
But that's what But think about what got the shine, what got the glow this year. Like, going back to what I just said, the 2016 freshman class introduced, I guess, a style that's been around but is now getting glorified.
That mumble rap, dog.
We got a carbon copy of Future.
You're right.
And no one famous, no one with an actual voice in entertainment has stepped up and said, yo, y'all don't realize that this nigga's Future. What are y'all doing?
You got a point.
Like, no one has called this man out. And we have gotten a carbon copy of Future, and this man is winning. Now,
you got a point.
I've said this before when I brought designer's name up before. eat, young man. I have no problem with you getting your money. I have no problem with you making the moves that you're making, and you're better in your situation physically and financially. Get money. Everybody out there get money. Don't hate. Get money. But this is some bullshit. How are you not realizing this is the same shit?
He riding that wave, man.
Bruh, he is coasting on that wave.
He riding that wave.
His hang 10 is untouchable right now.
But you know, outside of the other celebrities that haven't came out and said anything, you know who I'm most surprised hasn't came out and said anything? Future himself.
Yes.
This nigga ain't get on the interview and be like, hey, bro, what the fuck? Like,
but you know what, though? He kind of doesn't have to. Future has such a Loctite following that Sierra got pregnant by her husband and people are calling her a hoe.
Yeah, I thought that was wild. How you calling this woman a hoe? And she got, like, dude, they didn't even do anything until they got married.
Exactly. They waited. They did what you're supposed to do, technically, and
yeah, yeah. She was.
That's how solid Future's following is.
Yeah.
They keep calling you ain't nothing but the baby mama and all this other shit. I'm like, what did she do? He cheated.
She didn't do nothing.
He was out here bagging bodies. You know what I'm saying? And then, hey, that's another thing that did happen this year, huh? We had to sit through Russell Wilson's and Sierra's sexcapades, like, didn't they?
Yeah, they was just like all over the snap.
It's like, such a guess what we just did.
Right.
Like, y'all childish.
Right, grow up.
Right, grow up. You a Super Bowl champion. You've been around for years. Both of y'all need to just grow the hell up. Guess what we just did. And then, like, they tweeted out a picture the next day of them looking exhausted.
Right.
I mean, first of all, I'm sure Russell had a great fucking night. Cause I'm sorry, I saw the ride video.
I did too.
Exactly. So I know Russell had a fantastic fucking night. That's probably why he was looking so shocked, like, I gotta do this for the rest of my life.
That's probably why his season hasn't been as productive. He ain't got no legs. His legs tired. Nigga is tired.
He is exhausted, bro. He coming in his cardio on 75 every day. Like, hey, coach, just let me sit down for a little bit. Let me get a Gatorade.
I need a sub.
Like, we got to do something. But we've seen a lot of NFL contenders become whack this year.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm sorry. Carolina's been playing like they never been to the Super Bowl.
That's Coon Cam.
All bad.
Think about it. As soon as he started cooning, they started losing.
Very true. At least.
And Carolina, that whole area just all fucked up.
Yeah, they exactly. D's nuts.
They all fucked up.
And Harambe got some votes in there too.
Yeah.
But yeah, since Cam started showing up to Sunday service at every game, like that's the only thing you could talk about. Oh, speaking of football, what did I say that when the season started? If the 49ers play trash, you ain't never gonna hear Colin Kaepernick's name for the rest of the year. Have you heard Colin Kaepernick's name?
I haven't heard nothing.
Exactly. I said you got to follow up all this talk with some wins. And
yeah, I haven't heard nothing. Like I don't even know if he's still taking a knee.
But right, they don't even put the camera on him no more. And if they catch it, it's on accident. It's like there's Colin Kaepernick. like we're no longer just. It's done. What you're doing is for a great purpose. The attention span of today's niggas that watch TV is like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you don't give people something worth talking about, because when you stand up for something like this, you're supposed to have a stellar season, especially when you've been sitting down for a few seasons. You should be well rested. You should be way better than where Russell Wilson is at right now. It sucks, but their play overshadowed his message.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Like you're absolutely right about that. So next year, well, I think they're gonna get him up out of there. I think so. I think they're gonna.
Who do you think gonna pick him up?
That's the problem. He may not get picked up.
Yeah.
He may not get picked up because they're like, okay, San Francisco's like, okay, we dealt with this shit because we had to this year, but we getting you the fuck up out of here.
Like, you gone.
Right.
You got
next
all this
season,
negative press.
Now, somebody may pick him up. Somebody, one of these lower tier teams may pick him up, you know, a Jacksonville or the Jets or somebody lower tier like that. But they may not because they're like, bro, you're not bringing that shit over here.
Exactly. You better stand your ass up
because it's going to be wherever he goes. If somebody does pick him up, they're already going to get attention because he's leaving that team.
Right.
So okay, we already got this attention, and you gonna bring us this extra shit? Nah, man. You sit at home, take a knee at home. We gonna play football. So I mean, either way, shout out to him. I definitely appreciate his message. I definitely appreciate what he was intending to do. But like you said, man, you gotta play. And I guarantee you, had he been doing what he was doing and they were winning, he'd be
the message would get because he would be on TV every fucking Sunday taking that knee.
And not only that though, his employment would be secure.
Oh yeah,
they're like we can overlook the shit you doing on the sideline as long as you're winning. Mm-hmm. So I
remember somebody was like, how does he get his fro like that and he wear the helmet every day? Because he ain't playing. He don't put on the helmet. That's why you never see him with hat hair, I guess.
Well, no, you can, because the games, it wasn't very often, but when I did have longer hair and I had a fro and I played with, like, it didn't get braided or whatever in high school.
Oh no, they're talking about when he would come out to the game with the undercover brother afro.
Like come to because he ain't put his helmet on.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's not playing, so his shit can be laid like that.
Right.
Speaking a little more on sports, the black excellence displayed at the Olympics this year.
Phenomenal.
Amazing. We're so used to it being just us in racing because we're just naturally faster. But, bro, we dominated. We went off. I love the representation of black people at this year's Olympics. You know, I was going to say we may not see it again.
No, we will.
But I think we're going to see even more of a dominance next year.
Going to see even more of a dominance. And not only that, this particular year's Olympics has transcended to the future. You know what I mean? You got other little girls and boys, whoever, black children, that are going to be like, you know what? I want to do what they did.
Right.
Even if there's a drought in between Olympics, we're still going to get it later down the road because of what happened this year.
Right.
So, I don't see it going nowhere, though.
I don't see it either. We're only going to get better. Where I'm kind of sad, though, this was Usain Bolt's last Olympics.
Yeah.
He's retiring.
But this goes back to he got bored, bruh.
Yeah, you do. You get tired.
He got bored.
His last race, he was even running like midway through the race, he turned to the camera and took a picture.
Right.
You can't. Why are you that fast?
He got bored, but I think I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't take a year or take some time off because it's 4 years in between the big Olympics. I hope he don't try to come back, after so much time and be like, all right, I want to race again because he's gonna get smoked. And I guess this can lead into the next topic. I hope he doesn't try to be into like a Tyson Gay thing and try to come back to win because he's gonna be older. Tyson Gay was older,
right?
And like I said, transition to the next thing, and we lost his daughter this year too.
That was
bad,
man. That was horrible. It's like we talked about the episode that came out when it happened. You don't hear a lot of Tyson Gay conversations.
No.
So it's pretty sad that when you finally do get him back into the conversation wheel, has to be about losing a child. And like we said on the episode, I don't have a kid, but I consider all of y'all kids my nieces and nephews, and I'd be devastated. So I couldn't imagine as a father,
right,
to have to bury your child.
Yeah, like I said before, I don't even think about it.
Right.
Because for something like that to happen too, like something that, it's a little bit different if it's something where the child is sick or for something, it's something that can't really be prevented.
Right.
But something like that,
it's horrible.
That can't be, they have to throw me under the jail.
Exactly. Like someone else took my child from me?
Yeah, they got to throw me
under
the
jail. You better
see,
you might want to stop. You might want to disappear for sure.
Yeah.
Man, but definitely rest in peace to her as well. And of course, man, there were so many things that happened this year. All the evolution of Tommy Loren and African Bambaataa getting put up for child molestation. Like it was a lot. It's been such a whirlwind of a year that we're all prepared to get into 2017 and just leave this shit behind. Last story I want to talk about, and then I guess it sort of get personal. I guess. Did you see that Arab prankster that just got kicked off the flight?
Yeah, I seen that.
Delta Airlines?
I seen that. At first, I didn't know who the guy was. I thought that what the headline was, I thought that was legitimately what it was. Somebody speaking Arabic, talking to whomever, they get kicked off the plane. And me, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what type of shit is that? Did some digging, had to see that this guy is a prankster, and I'm like, that's not cool, bruh.
Right.
And have you seen some of the pranks that he was doing?
Right.
Like, seriously, have you seen him there?
No, I'm agreeing with you because he's
counting down in Arabic.
Counting down in Arabic, and then he's walking around wearing the full like Muslim headwear and Muslim clothing, which I get because he's baiting people into racism. Like I get why people would be upset about that, but on the flip side, why do you have to feel like, oh, he tricked me? How do I trick you into being racist?
You're absolutely right about that. You're absolutely right. I didn't trick you.
This is what I decided to do to, play on your fears. And this is actually something I was just talking about on the way here. store owner follows around a black guy because a black guy may have robbed him 2-3 weeks ago. People get nervous at an Arab person for wearing their traditional religious attire, speaking in their native tongue, and now all of a sudden somebody's getting their ass beat or they're getting kicked off a plane. Cop shoots an unarmed black guy, and that cop is just, a bad cop. Dylan Roof goes in, kills 9 black people. He's just a misguided youth. When are we going to start saying this is white people?
This is true. It's definitely a double standard.
It's a huge double standard.
You know what I mean? Like when it comes to the Arabic guy following around a black guy. The black kid's a thug, or he's something of that nature, or the person that practices Islam on the plane, they're a terrorist or they're part of ISIS.
It's an instant connection, exactly.
Yeah, but the minute a white person does something,
it's that individual.
Right.
It's just him.
He's misguided or he's a teen. There's been so many headlines where I've seen where it's a white person who could be like 21, 19 between 19 and 21. They do something heinous and they're classified as a teen. But that same black kid who could have done the same exact thing is a thug. Is this adult thug? It's always a double standard.
9 times out of 10, he's probably younger.
Exactly.
Than the white boy they're talking about, than the teen.
It's always a double standard when it comes to white people, and I hate saying white people because I don't mean the whole consensus of white people
as we're looked at,
right? But it's just like, at what point do it become like, bruh, do you not see the disparity in this?
It once it gets to the point where we're doing what they're doing, we're patting our pockets when they walk by, we're moving out the way, we're clutching purses, you know what I'm saying? We're showing this fear. That's the only time it's going to get addressed. Because like I said, that was something I used to do in San Francisco. When I would walk past somebody and they look at me and they're looking at me as if I'm going to do something to harm them or to rob them or something like that, I'll react the same way they react. And if you see how offended they look when I do shit like that, because they look at me like, no, you're the nigga. You're the one that's going to do this to me. And I'm like, nah. Y'all rob my paycheck every week.
Right. You know what's
Them
funny?
taxes be killing my ass.
When you really sit down and think about it, and we can go by a race basis. If you look at it, we do the primary races here. You got brown, black, and white. Mm-hmm. What have the Hispanics done to the we'll just say the country? What have they done to the country? When you think about it, nothing. If anything, they had land here that white people took. White people had genocide. They've killed the native Americans here.
Yeah. They kidnapped a race of people.
And
brought them here.
What have the black people done, really? When you think about it, nothing. Everything's been on the domestic side. Oh, black people rob you. But okay, white people have committed some of the most heinous crimes in the history of the world.
Still.
And yet it's the other races who are the issue.
Exactly.
When it boils down, I don't know why. Like I guess, like you said, we got to start doing what they do to us.
We have to, because they have to recognize that there's a fear on both sides. Mm-hmm. Because again, no one outside of a minority understands why you naturally feel fear when a cop's behind you. Because it's not like, okay, are my tags dirty? Are my L's dirty? It's like, he may shoot me. Right.
And you know what's crazy about that? The other day, what day was this? This was Tuesday. My goddamn brakes caught on fire. Shit caught fire. So I pulled in. I'm already in a sketchy area where I pulled in at. It's the only place I can pull over until I can call a tow truck, the whole nine. So I do that. I call my mom's because I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to need a ride back home. Mm-hmm. She comes there now. We're waiting for the tow truck. She's there. We're waiting about a good 20 minutes before the tow truck got there. But we're sitting there. Mind you, it's a sketchy neighborhood. The apartment complex that we were in, 2 police officers pull up. I don't know what happened. We were just in there talking. Now, she notices the cop before I do, and we're sitting there, and you could feel the fear that we are experiencing. They weren't even coming for us.
It's the craziest tension, bro.
Right. They weren't even coming. We sitting there like our conversation stopped. We watching like, all right, what they doing? Until we got visual clarification that they were not bothering us whatsoever, is when you started to see us relax a little bit. And even then, we didn't completely relax until they were gone. Mm-hmm. And that's sad. That should not happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we live in our city, we haven't had instances where a black person has been killed, or stuff that's been happening across the country. We have not yet to happen here. I hope it stays that way, but we have not have it happen here. But just the fact that we know it's going on put us on edge.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we don't even know if they knew we were in the car. We still did not feel comfortable.
Right.
And that should not happen. That should not happen when these are the people we're supposed to call when something is wrong and we need some help.
Exactly. Like you're supposed to protect and serve, but now when you come around, it's like might be a death sentence.
Like, right, I don't even know if I want you here.
Right. It's it's instant. You freeze up, you clam up,
and that's sad. I think it was a video that I was servicing like yesterday where it was a mom and her daughter. They called the police for help, and they were getting manhandled and detained by the same cop they called for help. I didn't watch the video. At this point, I'm tired of seeing the shit. So I didn't watch the video. I don't even know what the whole story was, but that was the gist of it. They called for help, and the mother was put in cuffs, and the daughter was detained. And I don't think they were fighting each other or nothing like that, but the daughter was like manhandled and detained. I don't know if they were calling the police from someone else, but all in all, these are the people that call for help. So now I'm like, you know what? I do it myself.
Right.
I don't need to call you. I got it.
It's all good. If I die, that was pretty much a 50-50 chance with me calling you anyway.
Exactly.
So I can either die on my own terms or die thinking I'm about to get help. So
exactly.
Let's go out on my own terms.
Exactly.
I do want to start to wrap up this show. To our listeners, we want you to understand that we know there are a bunch of subjects we didn't touch on, especially dealing with the police shooting deaths of Alton Sterling, Philando Castile, Corrine Gaines, and many others that's been going on throughout the years. We want you to understand that as shit as this year has been, we didn't want to just load up a show just full of the shittiest of things,
right.
the things that, directly affect us, because this is the ending of a pretty shit year and the beginning of optimism for the new year. Never forget these people. Never forget their names. Never forget their legacy. And, of course, rest in peace to them. But just know that we need to use the strength that we got this year from supporting each other as African Americans. And we need to go into 2017 like no other. We need to go into 2017 like some fucking pit bulls.
Take no holds barred and start to bring some positivity.
Of course. You have
Definitely.
to.
What do you have planned for the new year?
For the new year, I want to grow the company. That's actually my biggest thing, is I want to get beat to a level of success that we can start to rest solely on this being our quote unquote 9 to 5.
Gotcha.
I want to build, a better relationship with my loved ones. Something I do want to say, and I saw this in a meme, and it connected so much, or a chain status as they're called on Facebook. If you owe me money, if you've done me wrong, if we're beefing, whatever, honestly, consider everything forgiven. And if I've done wrong by you, understand I'm apologetic about it. And if you feel like you can't forgive me, then chalk me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to go into this new year with so much negativity, because we're already prepped for bullshit, because we're going to get bullshit as African Americans either way. So if I'd rather battle the elements than battle my inner circle. So I need people to truly understand that I'm leaving 2016 in 2016, and all I'm thinking about is 2017 and forward.
Absolutely.
What about you, sir? What's on your plans?
Got a couple of things, man. I planned on really getting on the grind this year.
Oh, of course.
Definitely with Beat. Finding better ways to help you expand the company and get it to where shit is really floating.
I appreciate that.
Then for me, man, I definitely want to get some writing, some scripts in the book. Start to travel between Cali and Arizona on some extra roles. I really want to get that going and start to get a lane. And like you said, man, I think me and my loved ones, we're pretty close, but continue to be close. And kind of be a little bit more optimistic, keep my stress levels down.
Yeah, because it'll kill you out here.
Yeah,
as we've seen.
Yeah, exactly. So, some big things, man. I just want to hit the ground running in 2017.
Yeah, that's the ultimate plan. Y'all probably heard him because he's heavy-footed as fuck, but Jay Alonzo just walked into the room. So since you're here, sir, go ahead and let the people know what you plan on doing in 2017. What's the switch up?
I'm not very heavy-footed, so fuck you, number one.
Just saying.
So what's...
Gotta come around to the mic, sir.
All right, okay. What's up, people? What's going on? What was the question again?
I just asked it.
I was making my way to the mic.
But I just asked. Okay, so the question was, what do you plan on doing what do you plan on changing or just doing in general going into 2017?
For the most part, keeping the focus on what we got going on over here at Beat. Always trying to perfect whatever I'm working on and get these videos out and continue to give the people a great podcast and continue to be a good father, a good provider for my youngin'. And going to 2017 with love, prosperity, trusting myself, trusting others, and the rest of that bullshit stays where it's at.
Yep. That's one thing I could say, man. 2016 has been a shit year to everybody for what it seems like. Mm-hmm. But I tell you, bro, I'm going into 2017 with no regrets.
Yeah, no holds barred that year.
No regrets whatsoever. I'm hungry. And it's time to work, bruh.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
it's time to work.
Get on.
It's time to work. So again, folks, we appreciate you guys listening. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We've been seeing the numbers grow, and we definitely appreciate that.
Yes, keep that up.
Keep that up. Tell your friends, have your friends tell their friends, and then also tell your friends,
thank you.
There you go. Kev, where can they find you at, sir?
_ Hollywood Kev. That's where I'll be at. That's where I will be. So, yeah.
At Big Los UTC. We're going to leave that bullshit in 2016 as well.
I don't know about that one. That might have to float on
Make
over.
sure you follow the Beat Network Facebook page at Beat Network 1. Same thing with Twitter at Beat Network 1. It's still Christmas time. It's Sunday. So, Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy holidays to all those that are listening. On behalf of the Noize, Happy New Year.
Yeah, we'll see y'all New Year's.
And we're going to see y'all New Year's Day for the first episode. Episode 1 comes on day 1. But forever and always, it's Big Los.
Hollywood Kev.
It's the Noize.